Hello everyone, I'm Chris Hernandez and this is the Weekly Report, your look at news from the city of Kansas City, Missouri. Kemper Arena is now one step closer to becoming a regional sports center. Earlier this week, the National Park Service announced the arena is being added to the National Register of Historic Places.
Kemper Arena has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places, and what that does from a reuse standpoint is it makes available state and federal historic tax credits that can be used to redevelop Kemper Arena into a youth sports center. So it's the first stop of a many-stop process to get Kemper out of the city hands and into private hands where it will be used and maintained.
This deal will save city taxpayers because the city will no longer have to pay approximately $1 million in annual maintenance costs for the arena, as well as avoiding a $10 million demolition expense. That's all funding that can be allocated to other city services. Kansas City is known for barbecue, of course, but it's also developing a full-on foodie reputation. You can get a taste of it all during the City Market Grub Crawl on Saturday, September 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. For just $25, you can join a walking tour with samples from several restaurants and food trucks along with live music. Tickets also include a Grub Crawl apron. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit the City Market's website at thecitymarket.org. Can you imagine going a day without water? Our Water Services Department takes a look at this challenge.
Water's vital out here. I mean, we're dealing with a living plant, so we can't always rely on Mother Nature, so having an irrigation system and allowing us to water when we can is vital to the success of this plant. We have to have water, whether we're watering the grass, whether we're washing down. I mean, we're trying to present a beautiful product day in and day out for the fans and everybody on TV to watch, so having irrigation is a must. Without water, this grass would eventually just die and look like a big old dust bowl down here. You gotta have it. It's like milk, you gotta love it.
Welcome to Kansas City's only teddy bear picnic. Woo-hoo, we're happy to have you here. Who's excited to be here? Put your bear in the air. Put your bear in the air if you're excited to be here. Bears in the air. All right. Very nice.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you'd better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic. Every teddy bear who's been good is sure of a treat today. There's lots of marvelous things to eat and wonderful games to play. Beneath the trees where nobody sees, they'll hide and seek as long as they please. That's the way the teddy bears have their picnic. Picnic time for teddy bears. The little teddy bears are having a lovely time today. Watch them, catch them unawares, and see them picnic on their holiday. See them gaily gad about. They love to play and shout, they never have any cares. At 6 o'clock their mummies and daddies will take them home to bed, 'cause they're tired little teddy bears.
Today we are in the offices of the Friends of Chamber Music, a Kansas City institution that was established over 40 years ago. Their new season kicks off with a concert that was supported by the Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund. And here to tell us more about the concert and to give us a little history about the Friends of Chamber Music is President, Founder, and CEO Cynthia Siebert. Cynthia, thank you for having us today in your offices.
Oh, we're delighted to be here.
And for taking the time to tell us about your history. You brought Friends of Chamber Music to Kansas City. Why did you think that was important, and how did Friends of Chamber Music get started?
Well, I was a young 24-year-old and didn't know any better, and just looked around and asked myself, what is not being heard here? And the literature of chamber music is so vast, and in particular, if you add other musics from other periods, most concert series around the country, producers, presenters, present music that's only been written in the last couple of hundred years. We cover 1,200 years, which means that the percentage of repertoire is not one shelf of music, it's 100. It's so much more vast than people realize. The vocal literature alone from the 16th and 17th centuries, the golden era it's called, there are literally thousands of composers who were supported by kings and queens and popes and churches. It's in an extraordinary fashion. The modern concert is a very new phenomenon. There were only 12 public concerts of Beethoven's works in his day. Most of them were in private homes. In fact, the Friends of Chamber Music, when it first began in private homes, 4 concerts. But even from the get-go, the idea was to present the world's greatest artists. We can afford to do that in the field of chamber music because you're talking about small numbers usually. So, for instance, the very first year we had the Tokyo String Quartet. Now, they were not as famous as they were about to become. They had not been on the Johnny Carson show. But as I looked around, I thought, why not? Let's bring this. We had Rostroprovich. I mean, we had amazing artists, world-class artists from the get-go, and that's been our stamp. Something affordable, yet never compromising artistic standards. So today we have 3 series, a master pianist series, a chamber music series, which does mean the last couple of 100 years, and then the early music series, which goes back, well, we have a medieval program from the 9th century with Ben Bagby this year. So he's one of the leading medievalists from the University of Paris, the Sorbonne. So we have people who represent probably the top 5% in the world in their specific fields of specialty.
Can you tell us about the Escher Quartet and Jason Vio, who are coming September 23rd to the Folly?
Jason Vio is one of the world's greatest. He's probably the greatest guitarist of his generation in the world. He's already played with over 100 orchestras. He has numerous Grammys, Grammy Awards, Grammy nominations. But the interesting thing is, it's very, very rare that you will see on one program a guitarist and a string quartet. In fact, when I titled this program A Rare Convergence, because they really don't go together very well. One, the guitar, has plucked strings, whereas the violin, the viola, the cellos, those are all bowed. Very different sound, very difficult to match the timbres, the dynamic levels, but these are great artists at work and they're very good friends. So they love bringing this ridiculous, impossible combination together.
Some of these performances are very rare.
I mean, for instance, our Lifetime Achievement Award, which is going to 2 pianists this year, Alexei Lyubimov was not permitted to perform outside of the Soviet Union for many decades. He was forced to play only music that was well known to the Russians and on the accepted list, but he actually avoided the accepted list and played Baroque music, which they knew almost nothing about. At which point he discovers the beauty and the rarity of historic keyboards and how different Bach sounded on a Bach keyboard, or Mozart on a Mozart keyboard, or even Beethoven on a Graf. So as a result, today, for the first time, just in the last 20 years, he built the department at the Conservatory in Moscow that deals with early music that never had before. And now they are aware of historic keyboards. We are on the same program, by the way, also honoring Malcolm Bilson. He was the first person in history to record on a historic keyboard on a Mozart piano all of the 25 piano concertos with John Elliott Gardner. I should say Sir John Elliott Gardner, an English Baroque soloist. the sound of an early instrument is so utterly different from a modern instrument. And suddenly a whole world, it's sort of like cleaning an old painting and you see colors you've never heard before.
How can people find out more about what you have coming up this season?
Oh, we have a great website, chambermusic.org, very simple.
And where can we purchase tickets?
You can just simply call the Friends of Chamber Music at 561-9999. That's 816-561-9999. Very simple.
Well, thank you so much for having us today and for sharing performances that you will be having in this upcoming season. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/ntdf.
Looks just like the ones on TV. Look at my video. Stop! Don't touch. Run away. Tell the grown now stop.
That's a clip from the Eddie Eagle movie for youngsters that features a catchy song about what to do if they find a gun. The Kansas City, Missouri Police Department is helping children get ready for school with classes on bullying and gun safety. Sergeant Caleb Lenz with the Central Patrol Division says the lesson starts at home.
We offered it to officers and family members of the Kansas City Police Department. And the reason we did that is it's a pilot program and we wanted to get it started and get a lot of feedback. The other reason we did it here and we started it here with our own family at KCPD is because we know that there are firearms almost in every home of the members here at KCPD. And we want to start that discussion with our members like we're going to start with the community about firearm safety and gun safety, and what do they expect their children to do around guns and to keep them safe, and what do we expect them to do as far as locking their guns up and keeping them out of the reach of children, so incidents don't happen where children hurt each other or themselves with an unintended firearm.
The goal of the program is to take the class to the community so parents can begin talking to their children about firearm safety, bullying, and drugs.
Make sure that they are locking their guns up. They're not leaving them lay around where children can hurt each other or hurt someone else. And the consequences of that is just detrimental, whether it be a loss of life or charges filed against the adult for leaving the gun laying around, which is just sad because the kids are still affected by that. And I also want to just build a relationship with the community so the community will know that we're there for them. It's part of our strategic objectives for us to educate the community, build relationships with the community, and if we can go out and build a rapport with these children at this age, then later on when they become the leaders of our community, we're going to already have that bridge with them, and we're going to already have that rapport with them, and they're going to know that they can come to us for advice, or that they can come to us with concerns, and that we're going to be there for them.
The session includes lots of interaction with scenarios designed to teach children what to do when confronted by a bully.
Stop. Don't ever do that again. You're not allowed.
The kids not only learned a few self-defense moves, but they also got to sit down and chat with officers.
Children are feeling pressure, they're feeling bullied by other children, and they don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to talk about that, and they don't know really what it is they're feeling. But if there's a gun prevalent, then they take that gun and they use it and they harm somebody else. And we want to end that. And so by teaching them the firearm safety and that guns are just a tool and they're just there for the purpose that they were created there, and they're not going to hurt anybody unless they're taken and used incorrectly. But we want them to be, locked up and left where no one can hurt themselves when they're not being used. But then again, the bully prevention is, what to do if you're getting bullied, why people are getting bullied, the drug awareness portion of that, cyberbullying, what to do if you're attacked, especially at school.
Sergeant Lenz says the lessons are necessary because of increasing gun violence in our community.
When we can introduce this into their life at this age and get them thinking about it for a lifetime and get them, like I said, when they grow up and they have children of their own, they'll already know what to do and how to act. But yeah, what I get from them is I get to be a part of their learning experience. I get to be a part of their energy. I get to be, a part of their life. And I hope that maybe just a little bit of a role model in their life that they may not have otherwise, or then maybe they take something away from it. But I always learn something from these children, and I just enjoy hanging out with them and them being able to spend their day with me.
9-year-old Campbell Maben and 10-year-old Isaac Warren participated in the class.
You're supposed to stop, don't touch it, and run away and tell a grown-up.
I feel like I can go out there and be safe and not be afraid of every single little guy on the street. And I feel braver.
The kids were kept busy with plenty of fun and games, but Sergeant Lenz says the relationship building is the most important part.
I think that Kansas City is unique in that they see that, they realize that, and we have a good connection with our community. Now I want to keep that going with the young generation. This is the new generation of Kansas City. A lot of these kids are going to grow up here, they're going to stay here, they're going to have jobs here, raise families here, and we can build that connection today that's going to bridge and last a lifetime.
Watch out for the KCPD bullying and gun safety classes for 6 to 12-year-olds coming to a community near you. I'm Sergeant Matt Fisher. Have a safe week.
The Missouri Arts Council presented an award this week to the city's Office of Culture and Creative Services. This division of the city manager's office was recognized for outstanding work encouraging economic development through the arts in the state of Missouri.
Good afternoon. This is truly an honor to be a little over 1 year with officially opening the office. But the truth is, I stand here representing so many who have worked so hard for the past several years. Starting first with the leadership of Mayor Sly James and his vision for elevating the arts and taking a proactive step to strengthen what was organically happening in Kansas City. I want to also recognize the inaugural staff of the Office of Culture Creative Services, Denise Dillard, who is managing our Hotel Grants program, and Consuelo Cruz, who is our Arts Marketing Coordinator. And most of all, I wish to thank our city manager, Troy Schulte, for making the arts and economic development priority and for taking a chance on me to help realize the city's vision for innovation in the arts. So I share this stage with many, and we hope this is just the beginning of fruitful conversations and ideas that is a reflection of our community and the hope of our future. Thanks again for the support.
City Manager Troy Schulte created the Office of Culture and Creative Services in 2015 to lead cultural development efforts for the city. A unique opportunity to help shape the city budget is now underway. The City Council would like you to provide input on its priorities and its 5-year business plan. At these citizen work sessions, you will hear a budget presentation and data from citizen satisfaction surveys. Then you will move to breakout groups for discussion. The first of 4 sessions was held this past week.
This, in a sense, is a little bit of an experiment in that in the past when we have done these, we have had meetings that have looked at our budget and our 5-year plan on a very wide basis. This meeting and the 3 other meetings that we have planned for later this fall are designed to really take deep dives in the very subject matters that you were here and around the tables for tonight. As Troy said, and I want to reiterate, this is a very important process, and the fact that you are here is a big deal, not only to me as Mayor Pro Tem, but also as Chair of our Finance Committee, of which this stuff that you were talking about tonight will eventually flow through.
The input gathered will be used to finalize the 5-year citywide business plan, which must be adopted by November 1st. The remaining 3 sessions will be held on Thursday, September 22nd at Avila University's Whitfield Conference Room from 6 to 8 p.m., Saturday, October 1st at the Mohart Multipurpose Center from 9 to 11 a.m., and Thursday, October 6th in the Kansas City Health Department Multipurpose Room from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Email finance@kcmo.org to sign up or call 816-513-1173. Come out to the KCI Cruise Specialty Car Event at 12200 Northwest Ambassador Drive. It's on Saturday, September 24th from 3 p.m. until dark. You'll have some hot fun and cool cars. A bounce house will be available for the kids. Hot dogs and sodas are just $1 each, and for another buck, you can enter for your chance to win one of many great raffle prizes, including airline tickets. Don't forget to bring lawn chairs and shade. Since 2007, the Kansas City Aviation Department has held successful KCI cruises with the proceeds benefiting the City of Kansas City charity program. For more information, visit flykci.com. Also, check out video and photos from past KCI cruises. Well, that does it for this edition of the Weekly Report. To view this program again or other Channel 2 videos, go to kcmo.gov and search Channel 2. That page has a link to our YouTube channel, and you can watch all of our programs on demand. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Hernandez. Have a great week.